Hi everyone, I'm Cinderay9, and welcome to a special Dragon discussion slash review. I'm with one of my friends, Dr. Hoovian665. Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
And he has a Twitch channel that's just getting started. I'm going to put a link into the description. He's a personal, really good friend of mine, so check him out when he's streaming. He's a really cool guy. We're going to be talking about the Destiny beta, which we've both played, right?
Yes.
We've played together, as a matter of fact. That's right.
Yeah.
And just our thoughts, opinions, what we see in the future for Destiny, what we like, don't like, everything like that, and give you all a taste if you haven't played the Destiny beta, just some of our thoughts, and we'll go from there. So, first of all, what do you think of the Destiny beta, just the game in general?
Love everything but the Crucible so far, mostly because it's a game mode that I haven't liked in any kind of game, so I'm excited to see what that's about. But the story so far, just in the beta, has got me interested. So
Right.
I'm really into the game. I'm 100%. I've already got it pre-ordered and everything.
I do too, and overall, I really like what they have to show. But I've got a lot of questions, and we'll get into those.
Yeah.
I'm not a big PvP guy. That's the Crucible, right?
Yeah. Crucible's
The
PvP.
the PvP. I'm not a big PvP guy, but it seems okay. We'll see where it goes. We'll just break down each little part of Destiny and kind of just to break it down. So. First, let's talk about story. You said you're really interested for the story.
Yes.
What
Uh,
What about the story?
Mostly it's like a post. It's like an apocalypse pretty much happened. It's the last city on Earth that survived, and you're trying to rebuild. That's what I got from it, and
Mhm.
I mean they have a pretty good cast so far with the voice actors. So
I like the Ghost.
yeah,
And
Peter Dinklage, I think his name is.
Okay.
I don't know how to say his last name. He's from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
he's the dwarf.
that's a really big name. Then
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. He has a really good voice for Ghost. I like that they chose to go that route instead of the typical like female AI companion,
Yeah, exactly.
because a lot of games seem to do that, and this is Bungie, so I fully expected when I saw the Ghost for it. Okay, female voice, and I was shocked when I heard a male voice. I was like, all right, that's different.
Yeah.
I like what I've seen of the story so far. It's it's got the makings, the story.
Yeah.
I just hope they make it the universe that Bungie has said they want to make it. You know, they want to make this a new universe with lots of things, lots of depth, lots of story, and I want that.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
When it comes to the gameplay, what do you like about what do you like not like about the gameplay?
Well, I like how the three classes, they're unique. They have their own different jump, their own different grenade, and they're balanced to me. I mean, I've played each one, got them all three to the max level in the beta, and I don't feel overpowered with either one. I feel, one is perfect for free roam, one's perfect for PvP, but you can pull off either or in both. I mean, it's very well done. I was surprised about that, and the only thing I don't like about it is, well, the shooting. I mean, it feels a little slow to me. I use my sensitivity all the way up, and it, like, when I'm aiming, it feels still too slow for me. I'm used to all these fast-paced shooters.
Right, it does have a little different pace. Our friend Kung Fu Squirrel played the beta with me, and he turned up the sensitivity to 8 when 10's max.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, this feels better, but it still seemed like he wasn't completely tuned in.
Yeah. I remember playing on Halo, my sensitivity was like 4 or 5 out of 15, so...
Yeah, and I usually play with low sensitivity. The default sensitivity, I think, is 3 or 4
Yeah.
for Destiny in the beta, and that seemed right for me, because I'm not a big high sensitivity person.
Yeah.
But it does have a different feel, a different pace. I also like the 3 classes. I like Titan. I like, was it Gunslinger?
Hunter.
Hunter, thank you. Hunter and Warlock.
Yep.
The game does, it feels balanced. The 3 classes do feel balanced, which is really good. A lot of games,
Yeah.
you know, in MMO, which is what they're striving to be, it feels like they want to be an MMO, that some classes always feel either left out or unbalanced, or there's something not right with classes. These 3 feel very balanced. Like, they're all usable, they're all playable. You don't feel gypped if you pick one.
Yeah.
What do you think about there just being 3 classes?
Well, at first I didn't like it at all, but then I found out that they all have 2 subclasses each.
Mhm.
And now that I see that, I mean, it's still like you have more than just 3 classes, because even if you and a friend go Hunter, if you like the first skill tree a lot better than the other one, you can max it out and use it instead of the second one, and the other person can use the second one. You're still different classes pretty much. And it, like, I mean, yeah, you still have sort of the same ability, but I mean, they just change it pretty well from what I can read, that it's still doesn't feel the same.
See, it doesn't feel that way to me, and that's what I'm scared about.
Yeah.
And this will be the overarching theme for what I have to say for Destiny, is that I'm really confused by the beta. is the best way I could put it, and here's how. The beta shows, hey, we have this story, we have these 3 classes, we have these skill trees. There are skill trees for those of you that haven't played the beta. And we have these subclasses, like you talked about.
Yeah.
It looks like there'll be 2 for each class. But I looked into the trees. Like, I really looked into the one. You have one, you can't get to it in the beta, but you can still pull up the skill tree.
Yeah.
And it looked pretty much the same to me. And that worries me. Other than the grenade that you get, that changes.
Yeah.
And your big special move changes. Every class has a big move they can do. It's a supercharge move. And it's different for each class. And the subclasses are different. But other than that, I didn't see a lot of changes.
Well, like with the Hunter, that's pretty much the only one I went into detail reading. Like, the first class, I guess, the first class is called Gunslinger, and he focuses more on the power of his special. Like, everything increases the time if you melee and all that stuff. And on the second one, it has to deal with, like, melee, just almost straight melee, because he's the blade dancer or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Yeah, it deals with melee.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why it looked different to me. I mean, yeah, most of the not primary skills that actually changed the effect. Like, on the first one, it gives you throwing knives.
Right.
And you can get an extra throwing knife. The extra throwing knife, yeah, that's kind of the same. Like, those kind of skills are kind of the same, but like the major ones that I use are different as well as what I was talking about.
Even the passives, some of them really stay the same. It makes me question just how much different am I than the other class. And that's what really worries me.
Yeah, that's what worries me about not being able to see the third one, the second subclass. But yeah, that kind of worries me about that. I mean, I know they like to keep stuff close to the chest, but
Yeah, and that's what scares me. This is one of those games, and see if you have the same line of reasoning. Destiny to me will be one of those games that either is game of the year and begins to revolutionize the shooter, like how we think about shooters, with the way they do the skill trees and the stuff that all the stuff they're going to bring when it's all said and done, or this game is going to fail miserably. I don't think there's an in between for Destiny. How do you feel?
well, the way I play, I mean, the way I feel about it is the way I feel about most shooters. I'll play for a good while, I'll get everything maxed out, and then not want to play it anymore. I mean, that's how shooters are to me now. I mean, I still go back and pick them up, but this one seems a little different because it's story driven and there's free roam and not have to go just straight PvP. So I mean, and the way I've heard other people talk about it in other Twitch channels and stuff is, I I don't think it's gonna flop. I think it might be a really good like jump towards the right way to go for shooters.
It could be, it really could be, but the beta left me with, I left the beta with many more questions than I entered with.
Yeah, that is true. I agree with you there.
And that's what scares me. I know Bungie keeps it like close, like, close to the vest.
Yeah.
I get that, but why did you put out a beta that really confused your audience?
Yeah, I remember reading the forums and everybody just blasting it about all kinds of stuff, and there was more hateful or hurtful comments than there was helpful ones. That mostly because of the beta. I mean, from what I've seen from the beta, if they just release it, September 9th, and it's just like the beta with extra story and extra levels, it will flop. But
Yeah.
they also said in a bunch of interviews that there's a lot more. This is only 25% of the game, is what we've been playing.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, that could be taken two different ways.
Yeah.
It's 25% of the game, as in you can't unlock the rest of these crucibles and the rest of the story. Or there's a lot more to the exploring. There's more types of quests inside the story. There's
Yeah.
more of everything, more events.
Right.
So it could be taken two different ways, and that's what kind of worries me about the game.
Speaking of the 25%, the weapons, and Destiny has a drop system. So think on a much lower scale. Think like Borderlands or Diablo, from what we've seen in the beta. Guns drop. You can get different guns. What worries me, this is the big thing about the beta. At the end of the day, if the game is anything similar to the beta, like at all, I'm not gonna feel unique enough. And it's the problem that happens with every MMO these days, to me. And that's why I really can't get into it. When we reach max level, if I'm playing a Titan and you're playing a Titan, we're really not going to be that different.
Yeah.
Bungie is telling us we're going to be different, through weapons and gear and things like that. From what I've seen, we're not going to be that much different, and that scares me. They've hyped up this huge universe. This is the next evolution of shooter games. This is going to be. They've hyped it so much. And then you put out this beta where a lot of the stuff seems the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really confused people.
I know me and Accident Child were running through the Explorer, just grabbing all kinds of loot crates and all this stuff for like a couple hours. Mm-hmm. And we just were grabbing the same armors and the same guns, and we were using the same class. I mean, yeah, that's sort of understandable, but like almost every single time we were getting the same type of armor, but like I'd get the head and he'd get the arm, and then by the end of the day, we had pretty much the same full set.
Right.
And yeah, that will worry me. 'Cause, I mean, I don't want to go in there full formed with the same armor as everybody else in the game.
Right. Exactly.
But
And-
the weapons, I mean, they all look the same, but I haven't found, like, me and Accident Child didn't find a single gun that was the same besides the white ones.
yeah, that's true. But how different are the guns? Like when you really break them down.
Yeah, like the attachments and stuff, or the leveling up of the guns has been the same so far.
Yeah.
Besides the blue ones and purple ones.
Mhm.
We've seen, well, we can't really compare the purple ones, we've only found one, so. But the attachment or level up system, you want to call it,
Mhm.
the blue gun, I found two different shotguns. They had the same damage, but everything else is different. The way the sight was and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I wish I would have been able to play with the gun to see what it all looked like, but you had to be level 10 to use the blue stuff.
Right. And beta interdate.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're talking rarities.
Yeah.
So white's common, green's uncommon, blue's rare, purple's legendary, exceptional. If you
Yeah.
played any game that has loot like that, you know what we're talking about. Yeah, I get that, but like the way they made it seem like to begin with, and this is what hyped a lot of people, it was going to be Borderlands with a huge story and universe.
Yeah, Borderlands meets Halo.
Yeah, that's the impression a lot of people got. At least a lot of people that I talked to.
Yeah, that's what drew me into it, was that way of explaining it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely in. I love both those games. I've played them forever. I'm still playing Borderlands 2. I mean...
Right. It's... That has a certain appeal to it. Yeah, it's like Diablo 2, Diablo 3. Getting loot has a certain appeal to it.
Yeah.
You know, to a point. The big problem that I saw in the beta was, and this could change in the beta, remember, we're just talking about the beta,
Yeah.
that at the end, yeah, we could both have fusion rifles, which is a special type of, which is a
Secondary.
rifle, a secondary weapon you can get in the game. And what happens is you charge it up, and then it fires 5-6 shots
Yeah.
all at once, and it recoils up. We could be using two different elements. The stats could be different, except for the damage. And are we really using different guns?
Yeah, that also brings up a good point. I've used every single different type of element on weapons,
Mhm.
and it's only been visual effects that I've seen. There's been no...
Right. There's only like for fire, I expected to catch something on fire, get maybe a dot, damage over time or something.
Yeah, the fire grenades do that.
The fire grenades do that. Right. My
But,
special
yeah,
grenade
but
that I
so
have.
far the rifle, I've been shot with a fusion rifle that does fire and nothing's happened to me. But
Yeah, I don't see any status effects or anything of that nature. The only thing is there are a few enemies that we've seen where if you shoot them with a particular element, they take no damage from it. They're immune. But if you shoot them with this element, they take more damage. But
Yeah.
those were few and far between. They're not your average enemy. And we were playing on a hard difficulty.
yeah,
That we really saw that. And again, it's just the beta, but that worries me. It worries me that there's not going to be enough customization in the weapons. That there's 3 elements plus the basic, so it has no element, and then there's 3 elements. There's fire, shock, and whatever the void. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
yeah. I think it's called Void,
Okay, there's
and all it does is take down a shield too.
right, and that's the only difference. I don't feel the difference in the elements yet.
Yeah.
So that's hopefully something I see. And speaking of the enemies, again, it goes back to that variety thing. And I know this is a beta, but the beta, let's put this into perspective for everybody. Now, quick caveat, the beta, supposedly what Bungie has said is they're leveling us up really fast in the beta. So it will be much slower to level in the actual game.
Yeah.
But we got to level 8, which is max in the beta. What's the max level in the game?
It's weird. I mean, you get the basic level 20, and then that's the max level for basic, and then you collect these. It's something light. I don't remember the first part. I always forget it. I've read it like 4 or 5 times, and I still forget it. But then you collect that to level up. But I haven't seen any gear or anything that goes past level 20.
That goes past 20, and even that system they've really kept in the dark. So it could be just like really tiny buffs beyond level 20. But let's just stick with 20. You know, the base level 20. So we got to 8. And I know they haven't shown off a lot of places, but I figured if you're going to show off a beta and really whet people's appetites, that you would show off, you'd show off more. You had one place unlocked, which is Old Russia Earth. You had that unlocked. You showed the moon, and that's locked. You can't play that in the beta, right?
Yeah.
That's locked. How many more places are there going to be? Old Russia Earth only had like 6 stages, something like that.
They had 4 story missions, the Explore one, and then the special event we can do where you go fight just the spider.
Yeah, and the Devil's
Lair.
Devil's Lair.
Yeah, I don't remember what they call it.
Which is I can't remember these. It has a specific name.
Yeah,
it has a specific name to it.
It's not story driven, or it's not just exploration. You have a goal, and it's
right.
It's type an event.
What worries me is when you have that. Let's say that's the structure, because that's what they've shown in the beta. I'm gonna get bored fast, because you've touted this as an MMO adventure.
Yeah, mini multiplayer online.
Yeah, that you're gonna have, lots of places to go, and lots of enemies to fight. I didn't see that big of a variety in enemies.
Well, I know they said that there was gonna be 4 planets. I don't know if there's 2 of them, if it's gonna be DLC later on, or if it's actually in the main game. They haven't said that.
See, that's
the big thing that worries me. I know they even said which other 2 planets it was. I just can't remember what they were.
That really scares me.
And when you're in the interface, you can see the moon, but you can't explore it.
Right.
And you could see the Crucible, but no other planets besides Earth and the tower, of course.
Which is the home base for your characters.
Which also brings up a big controversy thing. Why can't we explore the last city on Earth in just one little area?
Right. Yeah, that's something else. The major thing is more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody I've heard talk about it, and it's definitely my opinion, is everything's good with Destiny. I like everything I played. I liked the melee. I thought that was cool. Your melee doesn't feel worthless. It's actually usable.
Yeah, I use it too much.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To go melee things. The gunplay feels solid. It's not exceptional, but it's solid gameplay or gunplay. The voice acting is really good. The story could be really compelling.
Yeah.
But are you gonna have the content to keep me engaged? Because if at the end of the day we get through. So how many story missions were on Earth? 4 in the beta?
Yeah, 4 story missions.
There's 4 story missions. Okay, times that by 4. Let's say there's just 4 for each planet. That's 16. We're going to blow by those.
Well, see, there's a problem with the story thing too, which I think there might be more. It's just what they're showing in the beta because I know they say they're leveling us fast, but we get through all the story missions at level 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can see what level you need to be for the moon, and that's level 6.
Right. Well, what scares me is if they expect you to run Devil's Lair and get your extra levels.
Yeah, that's a no.
which would be intense. And the Devil's Lair is a really hard place.
Yeah, like that last part that with the big eye thing.
Yeah.
Me and Accident Child on the alpha we played together. We got screwed in that area. Like we would take on the eye, no problem, but then we'd get killed because he'd teleport right above us, and we try to run away and get killed, and teleports us at the beginning. Well, we got lucky when we played with you. The
I was awesome. That's what it was.
There was usually like 2 captains in that little area between the entrance to where the eye's at and where you respawn at.
Right.
And we could never get out of there. So the other guy that was with us had to stay alive and fight off the captains from one side and the eye trying to help us get out because we were trapped by them and we couldn't do anything besides wait for our grenade and all that stuff. I don't know if they fixed it between the alpha or beta, but that was a big problem. Is why I didn't want to keep running it.
I don't want to run the same thing 15 times.
Yeah.
Just playing through the beta, I'm already sick of Old Russia Earth. I've seen everything of Old Russia Earth. We've explored, found all the treasure chests. We've torn down Old Russia Earth.
Well, me and Accident Child found an area that's not accessible yet. Like, and just the free roam, we were running through this little hallway, and the title of the area changed, but we met glass doors that were closed.
Interesting. So there could be more.
Yeah. So
so it seems like
I'm excited for that because we did everything we could in the exploration of the beta.
Right. And it's content. I want to stress it to Bungie. And they know it. I think they know it.
Yeah.
But they may underestimate it. You better have a ton of content, or people are going to slam your game. And for what I've seen of the beta, the content's like not there. Now again, it's a beta. But then it raises the question, if you are just showing, the tiniest bit, and you're going to change like everything when the actual game comes out. Like you're going to show different skill trees, you're going to put in 4 times the amount of weapons that's in now.
Yeah.
You're going to open up a whole bunch of stuff. Why'd you even have the beta?
Yeah.
If you wanted to stress test, fine, but other than that, why'd you have the beta? If you're showing us this, you should have shown off just a little bit of the real thing. You could have capped it up. Like, if it takes forever to level, which I hope is not the case, that brings up a whole nother set of issues.
I hope it's not Halo 3 leveling. I will not play it that long.
If it takes me forever to get to level 3, then put the beta at 3 and show me something real.
Well, the alpha, they started us off at level 3. And
okay.
I didn't like it. I didn't like starting at level 3. I know why they did it, because they didn't want to show their first 2 missions, but it just felt wrong to me, as a RPG player.
Right. And that brings up one final point that I want to make is, and this doesn't go just for Destiny, I think for shooters in general. I think shooters need to implement more RPG elements. Like, and I'm not even necessarily talking stats on guns and stats for your character. I'm talking about like the strategy, puzzle solving, things like that. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example, and none's really jumping to my mind. But let's say, for example, we're fighting a two-story tall giant robot, and we really can't damage it. Well, one time, I decided, well, I'm going to shoot at its shoulder, and I pop off a piece of armor and expose a weak spot. Oh, that's really cool. Now we can do more damage to it, and then we find there's other weak spots. Shooters have become, you either, it's just like a run and gun or a super stealth game. And there's not anything in between that. And Destiny would be really good at it, to have something like that, because Bungie's done that with Halo. Oh, to beat a hunter quicker, you shoot off the back plate, that way you can hit the orange part. Oh, I can shoot this little tiny part of the what's the sniper, jackals?
Yeah, the jackals.
I could shoot through that shield, and that makes them easier to kill. There were little puzzle elements to the enemies, which made it a lot of fun. It felt more than just a shooter.
Yeah.
Destiny hasn't shown me that yet, which is what I was expecting more of.
Yeah, I know, like, before this game even did alpha or beta, I know everybody had really high expectations for this game.
I did. I had huge expectations.
I didn't, honestly. I mean, because they're going from just a shooter with a good story to an RPG shooter with a story. And I don't know, I mean, I just didn't have high expectations because I haven't seen anything from Bungie since Halo 3. I mean, I haven't really looked, so I don't know what they've made, if they've made anything.
Reach? Oh, whatever. Reach was amazing.
The only thing I liked about Reach was the story.
Reach was amazing. You're just wrong.
It's the best story out of all of them to me, but I didn't like the multiplayer. So
the multiplayer was great. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really high expectations for the game. I went in with pretty much how I look at every Call of Duty now. I mean, it should be good, but we'll see when it gets here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's why I really like the beta. I mean, I went in with just mediocre expectations, and I had a blast with it. We played every single day until like the other day when the servers went down.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, it may sound like I'm really critical of the beta, because I am, but that's not stopping me from getting the game.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm getting Destiny. I'm really juiced for it.
Yeah.
I just have a lot of concerns.
That's definitely understandable, though.
Yeah, and it'd be like, oh, well, that's every beta. I can hear people say that. No, I've played betas where I can really see the potential. It's like, oh, this will be cool.
Yeah, like I get early access games like crazy, and I like a bunch of them. They have great potential. Yes, I'll stop playing them for a while because I can find every single bug in it and just be like, all right, This game's not playable, but what they're going to do with this game
is going to be great. Yeah. Exactly. But this beta's different. This beta hasn't given me clarity like other betas do.
Yeah.
This just, it really boggled my mind.
I mean, the one thing they focused on pretty much to me in the beta is less bugs, more smooth gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the opposite of everybody. Everybody else wants to show you what the game's going to be like, how good it's going to be, whether there's bugs or not.
Right.
Like, even the alpha, we didn't have any bugs in it.
Right.
I mean, we had a few glitches every now and then from, like, lag and stuff, but that's any game nowadays that's multiplayer.
Yeah. No, that's true. It's good that they... And they did. It was really solid. I really didn't have any major problems. But, man, if they have a lot more, like the full game comes out and it just blows me away, the thing that's going to be in the back of my mind was, why didn't they give us a taste of this in the beta?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be thinking that too.
Real quick, before we end this, I want to talk a little bit about the PvP. You've really played it. You've played it more than I have.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the PvP?
So far all we've got to play is domination, pretty much. They call it something else.
Yeah, capture points. There's
Yeah.
3 flags. There's 3 points to capture. If you hold them, your team gets more points.
Yeah, it's balanced, but I don't know. It's just feels like every other shooter to me so far for PvP. I mean, everybody that's overpowered in the list is usually using the vehicles or, camping. I mean, of course it's domination, so you should camp most of the time anyways, but that's
defend
what most
points.
of the points are there on the team is people that are doing that stuff. Like, I know I've been the leader of most of my games because, well, I feel overpowered with a fusion rifle. I got that gun down perfectly. So,
Do you feel that the equipment is going to really screw with the PvP?
not really. I mean, like, you can use a shotgun and you can win against the fusion rifle easily, but the only thing that I could see overtaking any gun is the sniper, and that's how it should be. You get a headshot, they're dead. That's how a sniper should be. But it's like I've only used the sniper once, and it's actually really hard to use
Well,
in PvP.
not only that, that's kind of what I was talking about. I was talking more about, like, if I have green gear and you have blue gear and you outclass me stat wise.
So far, they've only had the event where that matters. That so far, like the silver or iron, whatever it was, iron banner. It turns on the level advantages, which is the level of your gun, the level of your character, all that stuff. It turns that on.
Okay.
But like the regular domination has that turned off. So
so everything is
yeah,
set to like a
so
base level.
Like, cause I really like the way the first gun looks. It looks like an M4.
Mm-hmm.
So I was using that when I was like level 6 playing, and I was still doing just fine. And that gun sucks.
Yeah, it's definitely the beginner rifle.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I use it is because I like the way it looked, and I got really good with the assault rifles. But I was still doing the same amount of points that I usually do.
Mhm.
So, but when you play the one where the level advantage is off, you better hope you have a good gun. At least a green gun your level, because
It makes a big difference.
Gun, yeah, if you use a white gun, it feels like it's slower. I don't know. It's like you're going up against a level 6 with a level 4 rifle in the PvE. It takes a while to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get the drop on them to use a gun like that, and level advantages.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out when Destiny releases. I got a ton of questions. I have really high hopes that Bungie answers all of them and proves me wrong, and I hope they do. I really do. I hope they prove me wrong.
Too.
But if it goes bad, it's gonna go real bad.
Yeah, like if it does flop, I'll more than likely play it till I beat the story and get max level, and I'll probably play with Accident Child, because he's like 110% down for this game.
And
He plays that beta every single day, all day until he goes to work. I mean,
this is something that I heard Ghost Robo say, and he has a Destiny talk as well. Bungie apparently wants to do 4 DLC like over like a 10-year span or something.
oh god.
Like Yeah, like have like a whole bunch of DLC like over a 10-year span or something like that. It was something to that effect. If that's the case, it are we doing like the whole Walking Dead episode thing? I'm really confused.
I really hope they don't do that, because that just means it'll be 10 years before you see the next game.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that news, and that goes for like all the news that's coming out of Bungie right now. They're saying all this stuff, and it just you're further confusing people.
Yeah.
It's like you're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, but that's always been Bungie, though. They always, like, shoot for the stars and confuse a lot of people. I mean...
That's my line, by the way.
But, yeah, I mean... that's why I stopped paying attention to Bungie's, like, newsletters and weekly updates and stuff. It's because, honestly, it's just not stuff I want to hear about before it comes out.
Yeah, and they're doing it with this game, and all I'm saying is it could really blow up in their face.
Yeah.
I'm talking original FE14 bad,
Yeah,
not the remake, which that they've redone. I've heard it's really good actually, but like before that, like when FF14 first came out, it was bad. Like it could blow up in their face like that bad because this game has so much hype.
Yeah, like Call of Duty's commercials and stuff, you know, how they promote their game in those ways is really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if I read that stuff, I want to play the game. Even though with Ghosts, I was like, I'm done with this game. I liked it for about 2 weeks. And then I sold it.
Yeah. Yeah, I too grew tired of Ghost real fast.
But then I saw the trailer for this one. I'm like, dang it, I want to play this one now.
Yeah.
And it's always like that with Call of Duty.
Yeah, they do a really good job marketing themselves.
Yeah.
And while Destiny has all of this hype and they've marketed themselves really well that way, now that the beta's out, you know, whatever they decided to do with this beta, it hasn't been... You didn't market yourself well with it.
Yeah.
Do you have any other final comments on the Destiny beta?
Not that I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, we pretty much ran the gamut of of the beta and what we think about it. So, thank you very much.
The ships.
Oh, the ships.
Yeah, I forgot all about those.
Yeah, one more thing. I like the idea, but if the ship doesn't like give me any bonuses or anything, and it's purely cosmetic, meh.
Yeah, like so far, all you see it is in the loading screens.
Yeah, which is cool. They look cool.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't want to spend $3K for a level 5 ship that's just going to be in the loading screen. I mean, that's not what I want to waste my money on.
Right, it's not what you want to waste your Glimmer. Is that the in-game currency?
Yeah,
Glimmer.
I think so.
Yeah, it's not what you want to spend your Glimmer on. They look, and that's something for the whole game. It's something we didn't talk about. The graphics. The graphics look amazing.
Oh yeah.
They look great. The ships look fantastic. You know, the guns look good. Yeah, it's what you expect of Bungie. Everything's going to look good.
Yeah.
It's really going to be well shown. And it's cool. I love the way the ships look. You get different types of ships, different colors. That's awesome.
Yeah. See, like the little speed bike things. Those are useful to buy because they upgrade the speed every time you buy new.
They upgrade the speed, the armor of it. You know, yeah, there's a purpose. The ships don't seem to have a purpose right now, other than looking cool.
When you're loading in and stuff.
Yeah, when you're and that's the only time you see it too. It's the loading screen, so it's not like you see it too much. And when you're waiting to select the next stage.
Yeah, which I don't pay attention to my ship. Then I'm looking through everything I want to find.
Right, you're looking through your equipment and your skill tree and stuff like that. So, yeah, the ships look cool. I hope they do more with the ships, and we'll see.
And now we've covered the beta.
Yeah, now we've covered the beta. Just about. There's a few other things, but we won't know really too much about that till the game comes out.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for joining again. Dr. Hoovian 665. The link to the Twitch channel will be in the description. Check him out. And thank you, the listener, very much for watching and listening. I'm Cindray9. Remember to shoot for the stars and take care, everyone.